Well, welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. We're here each and every day at this time, 8 a.m. And today I want to explore something. Are you wondering why you're no longer interested in what was once a main point of focus in your life? See, what I've come to understand is once we make a decision to go in a new direction, what was once relevant and important disappears. Think about that. Have you ever gone from one job to another and you've given them your 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks notice, whatever it is, based on your position in that? How in that 2, 3, 4 weeks, the things that prior to you leaving, announcing you're going to leaving, were extremely important, that you would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about them. You'd be worrying about how am I going to get this done? But once you make the decision to leave, to move in a new direction, it's totally irrelevant. Think about this. You're in a relationship and you decide that relationship doesn't work and you make the decision. It's done. The second you make the decision, no matter what the other person says, it's irrelevant because it's not important to you. You've changed your focus. You may be in the relationship and someone other than you says, hey, it's over. And you try to do everything you can to possibly get them to change, to see things differently. But if they've truly made a decision, the relationship is no longer important to them. Are you really getting what I'm talking about here? Our focus determines what is relevant and what is important. And when we shift our focus, and here's a key thing, this is really key. If you want something new in your life and you shift your focus onto something, you must let go of anything that holds you back. Because if you don't let go, you haven't really made a decision. And if you don't let go, you've made no room. Absolutely, you've made no room for the new thing to come into your life. That's the beauty of life, is that in order for something new to come in, you've got to let go of something old. Because that something old is a vibration different than the new that you brought into your life. You've heard about people or stories about people who've been in a relationship and they move on from the relationship into a new one, but they fully haven't let go of the old. And they're in the new relationship and then thoughts of the old one come up and they wonder if it was better there. They just didn't let go. They really, truly didn't make that decision to let go. Summit says, how do I choose to think positive? Because sometimes people around me are so negative and somewhere it does affect me. Guess what? I'm going to tell you, Sumit, there's no such thing as positive thinking. What's positive for you is negative for someone else. What's negative for someone else is positive for you. I don't believe in positive thinking whatsoever. What I believe in is directed thinking. I'm directing my thought toward a specific idea. I'm directing my thought to a specific result. Because I'm not putting judgment on what's better and what's worse. Because I don't know what's better or what's worse. I just know that everything's out there. Some people think this is better. Some people think it's worse. That's why I like the idea of directed thought. In fact, when you bring that in, it's your directed thought that creates. When you make a decision, you're making a decision to direct your thought in a specific way that you've chosen. Now, if you're directing your thought in that specific way, you've got to let go of your thought going in this way because you can't go in two directions at the same time. That's another reason why you got to let go of the old thought process and realize this is really big. You know what a relationship is? It's just the way you think about that person. That's it. How you think about a person determines what type of relationship you have with them. I mean, does it get any simpler than that? And what happens with relationships? We stop thinking a certain way about people. When we stop thinking a certain way about people, the relationship doesn't go well. And then it becomes this back and forth thing. Let me convince you. Let me convince you. Let me convince you. No, let me convince you. That never works. What I've discovered in my 50 years, almost 50 years of being married to Jean, is that if we didn't have at the basis of our relationship, here's what's at the basis of our relationship. And this is what I believe should be at the basis of all relationships. You decide for yourself. But what I believe is that a relationship is there to support and grow each person, to share, and to have fun. That's why we're in a relationship. And then, in order to support and grow each other, the key foundation to that is to know your top values. And once you know your top values, then you link them. How does my values support my wife? How does my wife's values support me? Once you've linked them and you've created that, now you've got the basis of a great relationship. Why? Because it's about support, growth, sharing, and having fun. If any of those are missing, the relationship in my mind is incomplete. Here's one that's always seems to be missing in most people. Fun. Fun. It's the most important thing. Why would you be with someone you're not having fun with? Why would you be with someone who's criticizing you all the time? Do you know why you would be with someone who's criticizing you all the time? Because that's all you believe you're worthy of. Your relationships mirror back to you what you feel you're worthy of. They're actually a reflection of how you treat yourself. I know that's a big one. That's a really big one to swallow. But it's true. You will never, ever, ever, ever allow anyone to abuse you more than you already abuse yourself. Once they go beyond your self-abuse, it's over. But until then, you'll take it. Why? Because you're just doing it to yourself anyway. That was not where I was going to go with this discussion, but it just seems to have come out that way. This is why, God, going back 38 years, when I quit smoking, you know what I did when I quit smoking? I made a decision to quit smoking. I'm going in a new direction, right? I picked up jogging. I created a new point of focus. And all of a sudden, that became where all my attention went. So having a cigarette was no longer a possibility because it would go against where my new focus was. My new focus was creating a healthy body through exercise and jogging. Yep. Remember, everything is a habit. You just got to decide where you want your habit to take you and then create the habit that supports that. It's pretty interesting once you really get into the idea. This is not key. It's not rocket science. Well, Corey, those are wonderful things. Those are qualities. And yeah, but support, growth, share, have fun. If you're going to do all those things, those have to be there. They're part of it. Yeah, Richard's there, The Power to Decide. The Power of Decision by Raymond Charles Barker, one of my favorite books. He was a New Thought minister back in the day. He's gone from this planet. But those words in that book, Raymond Charles, he had such great words, Power of Decision. Here's what you know. You can tell people you've decided on something, but if your actions don't reflect everything moving in the direction of what you decided, guess what? You haven't decided. You're just playing games with yourself. And that's where most people are. They're playing games with yourself because when you decide something, you leave no possibility of turning back. You make the decision, you go in a new direction. That becomes what's important. What was once important and relevant is no longer important and relevant because the new direction does not include the possibility of that. So I'm grateful that you came with me today on this little journey that we do. Maybe we should call it our magic carpet ride. I love that. We're bringing a little of that, our magic carpet ride. Right now, it escapes me who did this song. I know I love this song. Someone says, so I have a bad habit of eating a lot and being rotten fat. I should focus my attention on exercise and meditation. Well, you know what I want to say to you is if you don't have a huge reason why you should focus on health, you're going to keep eating a lot. You're going to keep being fat. You've got to create a hell of a why, a bunch of whys as to why it's important for you to do those things. Otherwise, you're going to go back. When your why is big enough, you're guaranteeing your success. So with that, I'm pretty complete today. I hope you are too. Hey, do me a favor. If you like this, share it. I would love for you to share it with people, more people to get it. Hey, and if you're interested in taking classes with me, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. I start classes next week, Monday, or next week, Tuesday. I start classes. Love to have you join me. With that, I say, I love you because I accept you as you are, and you're beautiful without any changes. Until tomorrow, create a great one, everyone. Aloha.